Okay, guys. To install the the Windows server from the scratch there, if we want to, the best choice is to go to the Microsoft Evaluation Download Center and to download the ISO file. So here it is. I'm there. This is the second actually. That's how I'm looking for it. Microsoft Evaluation Download Server 2016. Try Windows Server on the Microsoft Evaluation Center. You click here. You could then you're gonna find it in the list. You need the ISO file here. You say continue. You could put your name, the company size, the job title. Just because it's fast, I'm doing it this way. Otherwise, please be sure you will put your credentials here. We choose where we are. I'll say continue. Now it's asking me for the language, and I'm gonna choose the English, and I'll say download, and basically it will download the. Yeah, I don't need all of this actually. I'm gonna cancel the second one, and basically we'll wait a couple of minutes until it is downloaded, and afterwards we'll use it within to show you also how to install it. So after this one is downloaded, as you see, it's already in my downloads folder. I'm gonna move it on my desktop. Here it is. And the next thing what I will do, I will go to my second host, which has been just downloaded there. And I will basically, I will install a new virtual machine. I will create a new virtual machine. So that's I need to click on the virtual machines and then create register virtual machine. And I will choose to create one new. Now it's a pretty straightforward process. I will call it DC from domain controller. It will be ESXi 6.7. It will be Windows, and the Windows we will choose Windows Server 2016. Basically, we will choose the business server here. Give me a sec. Yeah, 2016 or later. That's the one. Okay. We will say next on this. We have no other choice. We'll put it on the local 2 storage. We'll do next. Now we could customize the settings. Now CPUs, well, 2 CPUs, fine, no problem with me. I could change it afterwards. That's too much. I could do 3072. That's okay. Hard disk of 40 gigabytes is fine. SATA controller, USB, that's fine. The network adapter, that's what we'll do. We don't touch anything here. Actually, we'll leave it like it. Now, by the way, let me cancel this. First thing, what I need to do basically is on my local storage, I need to put the ISO file. Otherwise, there will be no. It won't be easily to do anything with this, right? When I click on the local, so first I'll go to the storage and then I'll click on the local 2. I could click here on the left side as well, okay? And then I'm gonna go to the data store browser, this one here, and now I could upload. You see, when I click upload and I go to my desktop, I could upload all of these guys here. Actually, that's the way I'll do it. Actually, what I need is to upload the ISO file. Okay, it will take a little bit of time to upload it there. And as soon as it's uploaded, I will proceed with this. So basically what I'll do, I'll create the machine from the scratch. I will destroy it and I'll do it again. Destroying it, as you see, is very easy. Right click and just get rid of it. So here it is. I'll click create. I'll create a new virtual machine. Next. So all of this is already recorded actually. Now I need to put the name here. I'll call test 2 once again because it's on my 2 on my second host. 6.7 is what we have. The guest will be Windows. That's the same thing like what we do on VirtualBox, right? We need to choose what will be there. And I'm going to choose 2016. And I'm going to say next. Now that's the data store, right? I need to click on, it will be on this data store which I already created. That's my local data store there. And now I need to customize the settings. That's the important part. Where I need to, 2 CPUs fine, 3072 is awesome. 40 gigabyte, well, let's choose 50. Most of the time it's supposed to be 50. And don't forget here I need to click now and I need to choose what will be the provisioning. And I'll choose the team provisioning. That's a dynamic allocation what we're choosing when we do on our, when we're installing a VirtualBox machine. Basically, the team provisioning will allow us to use as much as we need at the moment, up to 50 gigabyte. The other thing for now, that's fine. Video card, well, the CD, I need to add one CD and it is already here and it's supposed to be connected on power on. That's fine. I'll say next on this. I don't need to add anything anymore. So I'll say next. It's ready to be installed. I'll say finish. And you will see it will be very briefly installed. Now, I already deployed. It is, you're going to see it in the movie once again. It is already in the movie. I already deployed on the local storage. I deployed already in the data browser. Here it is. The Windows Server is ISO image. So what I'll do now on this virtual machine, I'll go there and I need to choose on the CD, I need to choose the ISO image here. I need to do actually here, I need to say on the CD, it's not the host drive, and I need to connect it obviously. I'm going to choose the data storage. I need to choose here the data storage, that's what we'll do after. I need to choose the data storage ISO file here. And the ISO file is exactly, it has been downloaded already, so I'm going to choose this ISO file. I'll say ISO file. Here it is. And then I'm going to save this thing, okay? Now, the ISO file is in my CD and it is ready to start. Here it is, you see it, and it is on. Now, when I click on and start this virtual machine, actually I will be prompted, you will see it, which exactly, from which one I want to start. Let me see why this. Now, once it starts, starting, and it will start directly from the ISO file, and you know how to install it, right? You just click next here, you say install now. We need to choose the last version, which says data center evaluation with desktop experience with graphical interface actually. We'll click and we'll install it. We need to accept the license terms. The installation will be fast, guys. We need to use the custom, and these are the 50 gigabytes we already designate. Actually, everything is the same like when we do it the VirtualBox, right? So it's very similar to this one. Now the installation will be performed. It will take a little bit of time until it's installed. Okay. Now, while this is installing, I'm going to go to the other ones and let's check now. That's let's start the other one too. So let's come to this one. Before started it though, remember that's on my host one, and this machine has been actually my real machine converted to a virtual machine. So let's go and edit the settings here. We need the tools, the VMware tools. This is the same thing like on the VirtualBox, on the virtual machines. If you remember, we installing here, that's the VirtualBox, we installing the guest edition, if you remember. And we said that we need on the VirtualBox the guest editions because otherwise, remember here, they were, so we need them because otherwise it won't allow networking functions to extend the screen and so on and so forth. It is the same reason though we use it here as well. Now here I'm gonna choose 4 CPUs, that's fine. 8 gigabyte of memory, that's what I need for this one. 60 gigabyte of hard drive is completely okay, no problem with this. This network adapter section, I'm gonna remove all of this. I don't need all of this. And what I need to add now, I'm gonna say add other device, and I need to add my CD drive. So here it is. I will add it. It will be added there. Here it is. I will connect it, and once again I will choose here the data store, the ISO file. I don't have it yet send it here, but that's fine. Actually, it's not fine. I need before this I need to upload the file. So to upload the file here, I'll do the same concept. I'll do storage. I'll go to the local storage. That's the local one because I'm in my host one. Data store browser. I'll say upload. I'll go to my desktop, where is my Windows Server ISO file, and I'll start uploading it. Okay, so you're gonna see it. I need to wait a little bit until it's uploaded, and then I'll go again through the same process. So once we do all the hardware manipulation, we start this machine. We never started it yet. That's the first time it will be on. Once again, this is my real machine which I virtualized the last time, and it is on my host one. It has 8 gigabyte of RAM, and I intend to use this one for the purposes of installing on it the the vCenter. So let's check what's going on with the other ones. You see the installation goes on host 2. Is to come here on the action where it says go to guest OS, and we need to click install VMware tools. Now because we have already CD there, when we open, you see it shows it the same way and on the VirtualBox, so we need to click here and we need to say run setup 64 because it's a 64 edition here. We need to confirm that we want this to run, and it will be the same process like on the VirtualBox. We need to reboot after this. So everything is the same, and I don't remember we working on VMware Player, but on VMware Player we always do this also, because you need the networking on. Here it is now on. And we need just to confirm the wizard, we need to follow it. I'll say here complete. I want to every drivers to be installed. I'll say install, and it goes there. Once again, once it's done, it will ask me to reboot. So I will reboot this machine after this, right after this. We see, guys, the VMware installed. We click finish, and we will be prompted to reboot the virtual machine. Same thing like VirtualBox. Let's try something. So let's open our server manager. Well, we need to wait until it's on actually. And you see the VMware tools has been installed. You see them here now, which is clear indication they has been installed. Now what we will do here is just to go to the local server, and instead of DHCP we will choose the we will do manual installation. We'll stop the firewall as well. We'll do everything what we do normally on the machines, right, on the virtual machines. The name will change to last, and so on and so forth. So you see the Windows firewall is off. That's because we did it already. It's already done. That on our cloning is done. So click here, and instead of IP version DHCP, I will click twice on this guy, and I will do it manually. Let's see if this will resolve the issue. I'll say properties here. I'll stop IP version 6, and I'll click twice on IP version 4, and I'll choose 192, 168, 100, 210. Let's just before this, let's ping it to see if there is such a host in our network. Well, there is no host, obviously. So basically, we'll choose this one, 192, 168, 101. When you do it, guys, you need to choose. Obviously, we work, all of us, in the same network, 192, 168, 100. So be sure first you will check that there is such when you start doing it, as well as you could choose, you could see what are the default gateway, very easily doing IP config all on your real machine, right? So you're gonna see the default gateway, and we'll see it here, 192.1.0, and what is the DNS. So you're gonna use the same what you see for now. Then we'll change the DNS, as you know, right? We will do this, let's say one of them will do DNS server. This one will point to the DNS server because it's supposed to be part of the active domain. For now though, I'm gonna choose 8. You could choose even quote 9. They say it's nowadays it's even a little bit better maybe than the others. Let's try it like this. Say OK. I'll say OK. I'll close this. First I'm gonna disable it just for a while, just to be sure when I enable it back, everything will be fine. Let's see how it will work now. So after the 2 reboots, now we are ready to put our password. We'll put the same password as we're using, and I'll re-enter it again. I'll go and do finish here. So now it will start the virtual machine, and the first thing we'll do obviously will be to start the VMware tools, which is once again the same concept as on the VirtualBox Guest Edition. That's the first thing, guys, you need to always when you install a virtual machine. I'm already there. I'll do action and I'll start the machine now. I'll put the same password. Now, need to click inside. And once again, the first thing which we'll do as soon as the machine starts is to implement the guest edition. Since the network here, there is no DHCP server on it, so we need to do manually. You need to choose our IP address, something which we'll do. Okay, here it is. I'll go to the action. I'll navigate to the host again, guest OS, and I'll go to the next option, which is install the VMware tools. It will be shown to me. So that's how you install an operating system in ESXi from scratch. So I'll click on this one. I'll choose to run the setup of 64 because it's a 64-bit operating system, obviously. And then I'll follow the same. I will follow the same wizard as before. Here it is. I'll say next. I'll say complete. I'll say next. Say install. While I'm doing this, actually, I could come here and I could change. I could stop the firewall. The usual thing what we do normally in the lab only. Once again, this is installation from ISO file, from a scratch. Okay, so the next thing we'll do, allow the, be sure if you would like to access this machine from the remote location, well, be sure you're gonna allow the, the RDP, the next step what we'll do. I'll stop the IP version 6, oops. I'll start the IP version 4 and I'll say let's test with 220. So I'm gonna say 192, 168, 100, 220. Let's ping it on our real machine. So to see if everything's okay, I'll do ping 192, 168, 100, 220. So there is no reply, which means I could use it. The get 192.168, 101 is the gateway, and we're gonna use, well, let's use 8888. I'll say okay. I'll say okay. I don't need to do anything here because I will reboot anyways. So I could actually do like this and to see the changes. Then the other thing is the real protection. I need to stop all of this, if you remember. It's a precaution only to be sure, as well as on the enhanced internet configuration, Internet Explorer configuration to stop. And the last thing is to change date and time, actually to change the time zone to wherever we are at the moment, -5. And you see it says not activated. Well, that's because you don't have access to the network, to internet. So I'm gonna also choose here to change the name. I'll change the name and I'll call this one VCA. Let's do it this way. Now it will prompt me also to reboot here. As you see, the other one asking me for this too. I'll say close. I'll say restart later. Minimize this. And here it is. I'll say finish on that. And now I will restart. So I did all the settings and obviously I will restart now. So I'm gonna say from this one, 190 ping the 192.168.100.220, and it is pingable. And from the other host, I will try to ping this one here, ping 192.168.100.210. Okay, that's all. Let's check the last one. If I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to have IP address of 200. Let's just see in terms of this what it is. Let's just open this one too. Let's open this one and let's do CLS.
Your call is important to us. Please continue to hold for the next available agent.
And this one is not. This one is still the other one. Okay, so I need to open this one too and do ipconfig. Well, this one doesn't have IP address, so I need to put an IP address here actually. So I'll open the network sharing center, change the setting, open it, go details. Yeah, I need to do properties, stop the IP version 6 and open this one and choose the IP address like 192.168.100. Let's do this 230. And we'll put 192.168.100.1, even though it won't help us. For now, the DNS we're not gonna do. We'll do after this the DNS. So I'm gonna disable just for a sec. Gonna enable back to be sure that everything will be there. And now I'm gonna try to ping from this one the other ones. 192.168.100.210, no problem. CLS, and let's try on the other host now, which will be 220. Oops, too many twos. And no problem with this. So all the machines are basically accessible. What I'll do now, I will create on the second host, I will create my domain controller. And you know how to do this. It's obvious. Well, before we do this, actually, we need to be sure when we open here that, as you know, it's supposed to point to itself, right? So we need to open this guy here. We need to change the adapter settings, and we need to be sure that it's pointing to itself. And what it is doing, 127.0.0.1, that's what we need. So this guy will be our domain controller. Let's just double check. We could check it from the, of course, from the ESXi itself, but it's not a problem. So what I would do here, I just gonna check. I have 3 GB of RAM. That's awesome. So let's start the installation of the domain controller. Okay, so I'm gonna say add roles and features. I'll skip this one. Everything here is next. You know how to do this. It's important to see the proper IP address. That's very important. Then we're gonna choose the domain services. We're gonna add all the necessary features. Everything is next. We're gonna say restart if needed automatically. I'm gonna say install, and I will wait until this the active domain services is installed, and afterwards I will be provided with a hyperlink there, which when I click on it, it will start the installation of the active domain itself, the domain name services and the active domain itself. So we'll wait a little bit. So when it's done, I'll click promote this server to a domain controller. I'll choose a new forest, and we'll choose housenet.local. You could choose whatever you want. I'm just trying to keep whatever we're using here in the school. Say next. You know what to do. It's very simple thing. Here we need to choose the password. I'll choose exactly the same password as usual, which is not a good idea, as you know. But in our case, no problem. We're in a lab which is isolated. We'll say next. Well, it will be housenet with capital letters, if you remember. That's how the old way of doing domain names, the NetBIOS, will be done. And we're very close to the end of all of this thing. We're not going to change anything. We will say next here. If we see the green sign, that means everything is fine. Prerequisites passed. And we'll be able to proceed further by installing the active domain controller on this one. Even though it shows a lot of warnings here, no problem with this. And now we just need to wait. Okay, once the installation starts, we would need to wait until it's finished. So on my host one, what I'll do here, I would go to my network settings, and I need to point to the IP address of my domain name server, right? So that's very important, and I need to join afterwards when it's done the domain. I need to join to the domain. Okay, so I'm gonna go to IP version 4 here, and I will be sure that I'm gonna have here the appropriate IP addresses. So 192.168.100.220. If you remember, that was the IP address. If you're not sure if that's the IP address, well, it's rebooting now, but I know that is the IP address, so this is the one. So 192.168.100.220, that will be my DNS server. I'm gonna say OK, gonna close. Just in case, I will disable it for a sec, and I will enable it back. And then all it will be okay. So on my other side, the DNS has been done, and it's now rebooting. So I'm expecting this computer to get back. So this one and the other ones, they will communicate and they will work each other. They will work together. We need to change the name of this guy too. It's fine. We will change it. No worries. We'll fix all of this. So I have on the two hosts, I have two machines. Yeah, question? So guys, now I'm gonna join the domain the usual way. Yes. So we just joined the domain. And as we know, we need to restart. Now change the name on the other one too, here. So I changed the names as I expected to be, and I'm rebooting now. So if this all is done, what I need to do further is basically I will show it to you how to install the vCenter.